So this area absolutely was almost level. There was a bit of a depression, and we could just see the tops of the whole dam bolts in the engine area where John's working down in the bottom there. And so we were quite amazed when we started to open it up just how large this entire building is. On the right hand side here, where John's working down the bottom, is a steam engine house. There's two steam engines in effect, and John's actually in between where the two steam engines would have been, in the depression which housed the bottom of the flywheel.
I'm in the flywheel race here. The original engine had a flywheel of about 12.5 feet in diameter, and that rotated on large bearings which would have been here somewhere. The flywheel would have been it would have gone to the bottom of this pit.
What we think we've got here is a double doorway, because we've got a door jamb here, and then we've got a similar one on this side in a similar size and shape, which suggests that's what it was for bringing coal in for the boilers.
We've got the brick wall in the centre here, a large section of brick wall, and that's the dividing wall between the engine house and on the left the boiler house, where our 3 volunteers are digging on the left hand side. Further towards me, down here where Steve's working, we're looking at the coal store, the coal-fired boilers and the coal store here. We've uncovered what is likely to be a double doorway where the flat paving stones are. We imagine that's where the coal carts would come in, tip their coal to be fed into the boilers.
Oh, whoops, I think I've got something here. My word. It feels heavy, so it's heavier than stone. And it's a bit greasy, and it looks like a key off an engine, maybe to hold the piston rod onto the guide, something like that, hold it onto a collar. We've got it nicely tapered there. It seems to be tapered in that direction, and yes, we seem to have got some indentation or some holes in the bottom end of it.
You can almost imagine the engines turning yet again as John works down there on the engine beds and how they would have been secured down. In fact, John has produced some very good drawings of a similar engine, and that really brings it all to life for me.
I've got here a copy of the advert which appeared in 1877 when the Goodfellow engine was put up for sale.
Right.
The crosshead is just there, and you can just see a rectangular key. We're looking from the top.
Over here we've got the back corner of the mill, and we've actually managed to get down to the absolute base of the foundations on the inside wall there. And then over on this side we stumbled across a few bricks that were just appearing in all the growth. And when we've dug it out, we've got this lovely circular shape, which is a lovely contrast to the angular shape of most of the mill around here. Well, we initially thought this was the flue for the chimney, although on all the plans there's no mention of anything structurally here at all. So we continued to dig it out, still a little bit unsure, but potentially thinking it was the flue for the chimney. However, it absolutely stops completely, and it never really made sense that the flue was on this side as opposed to that side of the boiler house. We then discovered this in the undergrowth with a big lintel, which makes absolutely no sense, which means it really could not be the chimney flue. So we went back up into the hill and started at where the chimney comes out at the very, very top, and we walked a direct line. And when we first started excavating, we initially only had the little bit of the archway here. So as we started excavating, the brickwork on either side started to come out. And you can see the way the bricks are laid because they would have been arched as well. However, when we then got further on, we noticed that obviously there's a turns to a certain angle, a very distinct angle going off, which leads to the other side of the boiler house, which is where it really was thought it should be going. As we continued excavating and we found the angle of the chimney flue started to change, we noticed that it's pretty clear that this brickwork is much later and different to this brickwork on this side, because we now think this is where the economiser was added.
This was a method of preheating the water before it goes into the boilers, which means you use less coal to bring that boiler water up to temperature to drive your steam engines.